Hi everyone. We all have heard that LLMs are not deterministic. Ask the same question twice and you might get two different but perfectly valid answers. But here's the problem. When you're building production AI systems, how do you know whether those differences are expected or whether your model has actually regressed? Traditional monitoring tells you if your services is down. Traditional tests tell you whether one output matches an expected answer. Neither tells you when your model quietly becomes less reliable. That's the problem we wanted to solve. So we built a non-determinism regression catcher. Instead of looking at a single LLM response, we repeatedly execute the same task instrument every execution using open telemetry and send all that telemetry to signals. The goal isn't to eliminate randomness, the goal is to measure it. Here's how the pipeline works. So now now I'm going to test this. Our test harness runs the same prompt multiple times. Every execution becomes an open telemetry trace. This is the prompt what is the square root of 49 and will be running for 5 number of times. Inside each trace we capture stages like prompt construction, the LLM call itself, and output validation. From these traces we generate custom metrics such as task success, schema validity, and output variance. Those metrics are continuously exported to signals. Here you can see that the same prompt has been run 5 number of times, and this means that model execution contributes to an overall picture of how stable the system really is. Now, we won't be going through every line, but there are two parts I'd like to highlight. First, every LLM call is wrapped with open telemetry information. Second, after every run, we compute our custom metrics before exporting them to signals. Everything else builds on top of these two components. Now we can see Signal's dashboard. So now we can see that when we're looking at the Signal's dashboard, everything is healthy, variance remains relatively stable, and when we introduce regression, that is when I'm going to change the prompt from what is the square root of 49, just start casually, no specific format needed. It is going to run for 5 times, and these are certain different answers that it is giving with different similarity scores. And when we look at the Signal's dashboard, once again, we will notice that we will see this model behavior change, and we can still see that the application is working, nothing crashes, every request completes it successfully. But when we look at the telemetry, we see that the variance increases, task success drops, schema validation begins failing more often, and because we are configured alerts on those metrics, signals immediately tell us something changed. As you can see here, that the alert is firing here, and yes, this is the interesting part that traditional monitoring would have never caught. This is exactly that visibility observability give us. Thank you.